This is 7th grade 2.1. I'm on page 56. I need you to follow along in the book as you're watching the podcast. I'm going to refer to different things in the book and have you look at them and different page numbers. So if you would open up your books to page 56, I would also like us to start writing what's in the key concept box in your notes. So we'll have notes, we'll have the key concept boxes, and then the guided practice. So let's take a look at our vocabulary, and let me get my pen going. I'm still having trouble with it, but we'll see what happens here. Our vocabulary is decimals, and decimal is defined in the second paragraph on page 56. It says the numbers 22.5 and 22.05 are decimals. A decimal is a number that is written using a base 10 place value system where the decimal point separates the ones and the tenths. So it's a base 10 system. That uses a decimal point to separate the ones and tenths place. Notice that's got THS on the end. And let's put a couple of examples. They have these two examples. That's 22 and 5 tenths, and this is 22 and 5 hundredths. So there's two examples of decimals. And we'll be talking about decimals more as we go through this lesson. So let's look at the next slide. It's example number 1. Well, actually, I'm going to back it up. If you guys would look then at the key concept box, it says for your notebook, if you would take, let's go ahead and do that right down here. I'll draw a line right here. Key concept. Again, my pen isn't working. There we go. The key concept is the decimals. It says decimals and place value. Basically, it's a place value chart, so let's put our decimal right here, and let's work our way on the left side and the right side. And this may be a little challenging too. This is called the ones place. This is the tens. This is the hundreds. This is called the tenths. This is called the hundredths, D-R-E-D. And then now it's not going to let me write. That ends a THS on the end. That's supposed to be an H. This is called the thousandths. That's that place. This place right here, you guys have to figure out a way to do it neater. It's in your book. Is the 10 thousandths, THS on the end. That's thousandths. I know you guys have been struggling reading my writing. This side continues to go up. This is the thousands, and so forth. Dot. If I could find my pen that goes dot 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 forever that way. So your key concept just is the place value, and you'll notice they put these two numbers in those boxes, and the 5 is in the tenths place, and this 5 is in the hundredths. So then over on the right side of the key concept box, it's got it written out. 22, this is the right way to say it, is not 22.5, it's 22 and 5 tenths. This one is 22 and 5 hundredths. So there's our key concept. I want you to write those. So let's take a look now at example 1. In the Olympic Games in the 1968 Summer Olympics, Irene Shczynwska, I don't know how to say that, of Poland, won the women's 200-meter dash with a time of 22.5 seconds. In 2004, Veronica Campbell of Jamaica won the event in the time of 22.05 seconds. Wow, those numbers look familiar. Whose time is faster? So what we're doing is we're comparing decimals, and one thing that your book recommends you do is to take those two decimals and write those numbers, like line up the decimal places and compare place values. The farther the number is to the left, the less it's worth. So if you look, 22 and 22, those match up. Those are exactly the same numbers, so those are even. But this 5, and I always think of decimals, and I kind of think of money. If we put a 50 right, a 0 right there, that would be 5 in the tenths place, and this has 0 in the tenths place. So as far as money, this would be like $22.50. This would be $22.05. So this number right here is the biggest one. Okay, and this number right here. Oh, very good with my pen again. Sorry, there's the bell ringing. This is the lowest number right here. And as far as time goes, the time, you want the lowest time. So this one right here would be considered the fastest time. So let's see what how the book does it. It says, let me clear off my writing here, if I can get it to work. To determine which race time is given to be faster, compare the two numbers. There's where they are talking kind of like what I did, and it wrote a placeholder. The tens digit and the ones digit are the same. The tens digit is different, so therefore Veronica Campbell's time is faster. So here's our guided practice, the first one. Copy and complete the statement. So let's go ahead and do it like what they were doing over here. I'm going to write those numbers, 3.12 and 30.4, and add a placeholder. And again, you know, we can compare. There's the tens place are the same, the ones place are the same, so we go to the tenths. 4 is bigger than 1, so therefore this number is the biggest one. And if you remember, the alligator eats the biggest number, or 300 and 12 hundredths is less than 3 and 4 tenths. And again, money, this is like $30.12, and this is like $30.40. And then there's their answer. They agree with us. So here's number 2, and we start lining these up. 7.7, 7.70. We add the placeholder, and that one's obvious. They all line up exact. They're exactly the same. So therefore, those two numbers are equal. Another one, we'll line them up, and 569.9. Okay, these right here. I don't, you know, one thing you can line and you can compare. You can see the 7 right away is bigger than the 6, so that's going to be greater than. But again, I look at it like money. Right away I look at this and go, hey, that's like $5.70. That's like $5.69. That would need to be rounded up to 570, but it's still smaller than the 5. That one's got 570 right there. So therefore, 5 and 701 thousandths is bigger than 5 and 699 thousandths. Let's see what they say. Greater than. Okay, ordering decimal numbers from least to greatest. And the little trick I talk about money, I look at all of these and I see every one of these numbers up here has a 2 in the ones place. If you look at these, they all have a 2 in the ones place. So again, I'm looking at, if I'm going to think of them like money, the smallest money amount up there is just the 2 by itself. And then you start going up and you can start, you know, you can eliminate. This is like $2.06. Well, that's the next smallest money amount. Then 211, then 221, then 224. And I'm just looking at it like money. It's just easier because decimals, I use money every day and I can relate it. So let's see, they put it on the number line, which is kind of like what, you know, I'm thinking about it like money again. There they are. Look at how they placed them on the number line, and by placing the numbers on the number line, it puts them in order. And so there are our numbers from least to greatest. So example number 3 now. This has a key concept in it, so before I do example 3, I want you to write this key concept with me. The key concept box is on page 15, It's talking about rounding numbers. That's supposed to be an R right there. So when you round numbers, it says in the key concept box, to round a decimal to the given place value, look at the digit in the place at the right. If the digit is less than 5, round down. If the digit is greater than 5, round up. So let's write this as steps. First, you look at given place value. That's the value, that's the place you're going to round. 2, you look at number. You look at the number at the right next door to it on the right. If it's greater than 5 or bigger, it goes up. If it is 4 or smaller, it goes down. So let's look at that key concept when we're doing this one. 7.126, I'll do the steps. First, you look at the given place value. They want us to round to the nearest tenth, so that's the given place value. Second, you look at the number to the right, which is this one. Since it's a 2, which is less than 4, then we round this 7.1 down to 1, and then these just become zeros, or in this case, you don't even have to write them. So that would be 7.1. And they're going to do that. Let's see. Let me get rid of the writing for you so you can see what's going on here. There's where they're showing the 1 is the tenths place. The number to the right is the 2. They have it in green. You want to round the nearest tenth. There's that digit. It's less than 5, so then you round it down. So let's do the guided practice here. We're going to put these numbers in order. So the first, I see some 3s. I'm looking at the whole numbers right here, if you can see. And we're going to take those into 2 groups. We're going to take the 3s, because 3s are smaller than 4s. And so I see 2 3s, and I'm thinking of as money amounts. $3.48 is smaller than $3.84. So that's going to go first. Then the $3.84. So we're done with the 3s. Now let's take the 4s. And this one right here is like $4.40. $4.38 is smaller than that, so that goes first. Then 4.4. Then 4.83. So we've just put those numbers in order from least to greatest, and I'm relating them to money. So let's see if put the answers right on top. Yep, it matches. So same thing here, except the difference in this case is they all start with 5s. This is like $5.60. I'll give them one. This is like $5.80. So I'm looking, 560 is the smallest amount, so that goes first. Then 568, so we're done with that one, done with that one. 571, 579, and then 580, or 5.8. So we probably wrote right on them, 68, 71, 79, we got it right. And for the example number 3, rounding, round the number to the nearest hundredth. So we locate the hundredth, which is this number, because it goes tenths, hundredths. If you remember the first key concept box, we wrote out the table. We look at the number to the right, which is a 5, so that tells us the 1 goes up. So it's going to be 34.02. And that's what they got. Again, the nearest hundredth, this 0 is in the hundredths place. We look at the number to the right. 3 is not bigger than 5, so that 0 stays put. So it's just going to be 1 in 50 hundredths. And another one, again, the nearest hundredth is what the instructions say. There's the hundredths place. We look at the number to the right. That's 5, so that's enough for it to go up. So it's 22.67. This one, let's see, the 0. The 4 is not enough to go up. So 125.7, and that's it. All right, that's it for 2.1. You can go ahead with the assignment, and we'll see you next time.